USAA knows dynamic duos can save the day, like superheroes and sidekicks or auto and home insurance. With USAA, you can bundle your auto and home and save up to 10%. Learn more and get a quote at USAA.com/bundle. Restrictions apply.
Brooks Running reminds us that we're all powered by something. Whether it's the me-time energy of a run after a day at the office, the electrifying energy of your first marathon, or the infectious energy of a group run with your friends. No matter what energy powers you, Brooks has gear specifically designed to unleash it. So lace up and let it out. Let's run there. Visit brooksrunning.com today to learn more.
And welcome back to the Boundary Corner Podcast, a part of the College Huddle Network, along with my partners, Brian Siegler and Jonathan Challey. I am Curtis Wilson, and this episode is brought to you by Dr. Jeremy Counts at the Counts Family Pharmacy in Blacksburg, your friendly neighborhood pharmacy, 301 South Main Street. Fellas, it is a winning Tuesday. How's everybody doing today?
Winning Tuesday, buddy. I am, as they say in the biz, loving it. What a crazy ass weekend in college football, and I'm glad that we weren't part of that statistic.
I can agree. It was good to watch a game and relax, like be able to drink something and hold it down without throwing it up every 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just talking about water. I ain't talking about alcohol, because a lot of times when you're watching games, you can't eat and you can't drink. You don't know what's going on. 3 hours. That's not – we ain't pregnant. We ain't supposed to be having stomach aches that – well, most of us ain't. You know, you ain't supposed to be having stomach aches that long. So it was good just to be able to kind of sit back, relax, watch a game. Things looked the way they were supposed to look. Mm-hmm. People did what they were supposed to do. It's exciting.
And we are going low that tonight, as we tell the truth on Tuesdays about the game. But can we just, before we jump all into that, and we do have a special guest coming on with us later that y'all will find out in a little while. It's going to be a lot of fun to talk to him. Let's go back 17 years ago. We were all in our 20s, all probably having a good time, not much care in the world here or there. Y'all remember 2007, right?
Oh, yeah.
I remember that crazy ass freaking football year.
Do y'all weird. Look crazy?
I remember it. I remember it.
I remember it for good and bad.
Yeah.
Say that.
Because we were on the side of some of that.
I was like, yeah. We was up in there.
We were really up in there. But I'm going to tell y'all, Friday night, you were starting with Syracuse UNLV all the way to 2:30 in the morning with Cal and Miami, and all the upsets in between. That was one of the wildest days ever. And like Tally said, I am glad we were not a part of it. I am glad at a certain point in time of watching our game, I still paid attention, but I started watching some of those other things, and it was just like, is this really going to happen? Mm-hmm. So Tally, had people around your area been prodding you all year saying, y'all lost to Vanderbilt?
Oh man, that's the beauty of college football. It's a week to week thing, and I'm so Hokie that it's like at this point I just take it for the week. You got these people that just are so excited every week. Oh, we beat Georgia. I can't believe y'all lost to Vanderbilt. When we lost to Vandy, I was getting messages from all. You know what? I got more messages from Auburn fans than I did Alabama fans. Because Alabama fans didn't even have Vandy on their radar. Like, they was just like, okay, whatever. You know, but I had a lot of my Auburn friends was like, can't believe y'all went to Nashville and lost to Vandy. oh well, it must be the SEC and all this. Like I heard that so much, and I'm like, okay. I was like, I don't know who they're gonna get. They're gonna get somebody, and they got somebody.
They got the head of the food chain, is what they got.
Oh man, that number one ranking did not last long.
Not long at all.
It was
they shouldn't have jumped Texas anyway, so that was like a come up.
Oh yeah,
it was a self correction.
And it's been very, very mixed emotions between Alabama fans that I've seen, just putting up Facebook posts and kind of messing with them and talking to them. You got half of the fans that go, "Well, it's his first year. We didn't expect him to go undefeated," and we got a new program that we still can get in the playoffs, so we ain't tripping. We rather lose to them now than lose this. Then you got that other group that's going, our defensive coordinator sucks, and we got players that ain't listening. It would never happen under Nick. What are we gonna do? So if you think we crazy, like bro, I'm telling you, like they expect to win every game, every single game. So it's been a little nuts for just the people that I even know, and like I said, just the kind of Facebook friends and things.
Yeah, I've heard some of the crazy folks calling in the fine bombs, so I can only imagine what you're hearing.
Oh yeah, he got some. I know he getting paid right now. Because he lives on them losses, man. That's where he makes the money when something bad happens. So
100%.
He feeling good right now.
Well, the piece about watching that game, because that was a 4:15 kick, so our game we were kind of under control. Because kind of when the first quarter ended, there was getting near halftime for our game. We come out of half, we scored a 21, and I'm gonna be honest, watching Stanford, and I know we're gonna talk about it, but it was like they ain't driving the field more than maybe once to get a touchdown. They're not driving 3 or 4 times.
Never thought they were gonna hit a big play on us.
No, they couldn't hit a big play.
Weren't worried about that.
That's in the data.
Once we had the 2 touchdown lead, it was like, all right, so we just gonna keep them at least at arm's pace the rest of the way, because they can't score quick. I'm not worried about that. They're gonna try to methodically run the ball down the field and occasionally mix in a couple passes here or there, but they're not gonna do anything crazy. So you weren't really worried about them getting back in. And then I don't know about y'all, but I got hit up by LeVar, our buddy LeVar. He sent me a message. He's like, "Hey, I know it's early, 14-0 Vandy."
Yeah.
But it was, and that became our focus then. I was paying attention to our game. I saw like Keonta's interception, some of the late John's kick and everything. But you saw Diego Pavia and you saw that offense start running. It was just like, can they really do this? But when Bama got close, it was like, I thought it was like, oh, that's it. That's it. They toyed with them. So because of how good Vanderbilt is, because of how we like the 8th ranked, was it 8th or 9th strength of schedule now?
Yeah, it's something crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah. And apparently, based on where we at now, the easiest going forward, one of the easiest going forward.
Don't listen to it. They don't never.
I'm not going to listen to it.
Changes every week.
It does.
Yes, I did see that though. Like you said,
but just Saturday in general, and then it got better Saturday evening when Tennessee lost to Arkansas because they were running their mouth. That fan base had been running their mouth. We're gonna beat them by 100. We're gonna smoke them. Like, no. And then the last play of that game is the brilliance of college football. That kid's running, and it's like, stupid. It ain't no more time left on the clock. You need to throw the football. And he steps out of bounds. Takes a hit while he steps out of bounds. It's just like, y'all dumb.
Yeah, crazy.
You dumb, boy.
You're earning this one.
Yeah, definitely. It was a crazy good week, a weekend. Kind of like you said, Curtis. The thing that was so intriguing to me and just what, first of all, with the transfer portal, I feel like it does even college football out more because you have so many teams who usually wouldn't be able to compete. Now you really don't know because they have these players that probably wouldn't have been there that come in and can make a difference. But when you watch that Vanderbilt game, it's like they controlled the game, the whole game. That was more like it's cool that they won, but the thing to me was like they controlled it, like they were the better team that day. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that was crazy.
And it is true. It's the transfer portal. And I know a lot of people were thinking it's not going to make a difference because all the best players are going to go to these big programs. The whole piece is you can't do that with limitations. And the whole piece is also, if you're a really good player, what do you want to do? It's why we got APR, right?
Yeah.
You want to play.
Yeah.
Because you can be the most touted person in the entire country. If you don't get on the field, you ain't making it to Sunday. And they can say, well, NIL is going to pay. You know what? If you don't get on the field, I got this eerie feeling those NIL dollars that you might have got the first year that was 6 or 7 figures. You know, has he been on the field yet? No. We still paying him $400,000? Yeah, we are. We ain't paying him $400,000 next year. What are you going to pay him? 50? 50 if he wants to stay?
Right.
It's that thing that's going on. Now, I'm going to ask y'all this before we get into telling the truth. Actually, this is a tell the truth moment. Did the ACC ref save Miami a second time?
Yep. At least on 2 calls in that final drive, if not more. Should have been targeting. They even looked at it. They looked at it again. No targeting. On the go-ahead, you had like 2 linemen 6 yards downfield.
Yeah.
But
it's like, I don't know, man. I do think that they were helped again. But on the other hand, I'm like, Cal, if you got somebody, and again, I get it. You still have to call the game the way it's supposed to. I know we were up on Miami, I think 10 points, but they was up on Miami big, man. At home. You're up big at home. With game day there, you cannot squander. You can't even let them hang around. You can't squander that. So I'm telling you when I thought it was a little freaky though. I didn't say nothing, but I was watching it. When the receiver, when they went for it on the 4th down, the running back comes out of the backfield and catches that 4th and 1 little, flat route and takes it like 60 yards or whatever. And he's high stepping to the end zone. Like he's doing that. And then he goes and grabs the pom-poms. I was like, I don't know if I'd be doing all that now. You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of was thinking, getting a little bit too excited. You know what I'm saying? Knock them off, then we'll celebrate. But yeah, I went to sleep thinking for sure that Cal had the game and woke up the next morning and figured out they lost by 1. I was like, wow.
It is what it is. It's college football. It's a crazy world. And to your point, you don't grab the pom-poms until the scoreboard says 000.
Yeah.
And it's over. Then you can grab the pom-poms and play all you want. But let's get to the Hokies. Hokies take care of Stanford on the road, a 2,300-mile flight, 6 hours in the air for the boys to go out there and spank them 31-7. And it's a lot that went well on Saturday. We can be straight up with that. You can be real with it. But I'm going to tell you the one that I loved because we said it. I said it a couple weeks ago, and we've been saying it on this podcast. We need an identity. We need an identity. I went further and said, we need to run the ball 6% of the time, pass it 40. We were right on 60-40. And how did Kyron look? Kyron looked more comfortable. We rolled the pocket a little bit. He got some runs in. Tootin got some runs in. His accuracy was up 70%. One of the actually maybe the most accurate passing game in Virginia Tech history, if not very close to it. Some big plays, some smart plays. Tally, you've been saying it for weeks. They finally let Kyron be Kyron.
Let him be him, man. Yep. So my thing is, from watching the game and what I've seen all season, and I don't know what the behind-the-scenes talks are. I don't know, I know Kyron wants to go to the NFL, of course. That's why they play the game. And I don't know what's been promised to him. I don't know what they want to do to develop him to be an NFL quarterback. But I do know the system they were trying to put him in at the beginning of the season wasn't working. He is never going to be drop back and pass the ball 40 times to these receivers. Even if he plays in the NFL, I don't think that's what he's good at. You know what I'm saying? He's got to move around. He's got to do some different things. You got to roll the pocket. He has to get comfortable. It's like, I don't want my quarterback to take a lot of hits, but it seems like Kyron gets energized when he feels some contact. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not afraid of it. He knows how to fall forward. He knows when to.
Oh, we got a frozen tally here.
There we go. Nope. He's still frozen.
He's still frozen.
Frozen in time.
Brian, I'll let you continue the rant there until Tally gets back.
Yeah, I mean, speaking to what Kyron does well, I mean, when we look at it's really funny. I mean, we talk about trying to limit the quarterback getting hit and stuff like that, but the only time I've ever seen him come up gimpy is when he gets hit in the pocket or when a right tackle steps on his leg. So, when he's moving, when he's running, he looks like a different quarterback. When we play a game that runs through him and what he can do with his legs and what Tootin can do in the running game and let everything else kind of supplement and complement that, that's when this offense looks really good. And it's helping because, you're seeing that threat and you're seeing some of those things that weren't open in the game early in the year open up a little bit. And I think some of that is that we're being a little bit smarter with our motion. I'm seeing a lot more misdirection with motion and being smart with the way that we're using everybody was complaining about, okay, well, we're going, east-west instead of north-south. But when you're smart with motion, you can spread folks out and get people's eyes confused and make that work. And we're doing that a whole lot better now than we were doing at the start of the season. So that's going to be some credit to Tyler Bowen making some adjustments with what he was doing early, a little bit probably too vanilla, and being a little bit more complex with it now.
Well, yeah, and it's also the taking of the first 4 weeks of the season because, again, I think there's going to be a lot of Tech fans. I'm one of them, and I'll probably ponder it all year, is what we saw the last 2 weeks, if that is the team that shows up in Vandy. And I know Vanderbilt is Alabama, but I think this team would beat that Vandy team. I think this team would beat that Rutgers team. Why did it take so long? That's going to be our frustration because that doesn't need to happen. You've had this group ready for a couple years, and I know I'm getting a little bit negative in that sense, but yeah, he did look relaxed in the pocket that week. And let's just be straight up with it. When he got relaxed in the pocket, what kind of was the issue the first 4 weeks was it was only a few guys showing up and catching balls. Was not that way Saturday. 5 guys with catches led by Daquan Felton. Is he back?
He's coming back in.
Is he back? All right.
It's cycling.
Before I get on that. All right.
I'm back.
He's back.
Alabama internet, baby.
Man, I'm telling you, they didn't like that. They didn't like that talking about Vanderbilt stuff.
Oh man, they
cut it off.
They
cut it off. I had to reboot it.
Everything. Well, I was sitting here saying, Tally, we were mentioning a little bit more about Kyron looking comfortable and everything. Mm-hmm. But I was saying here, if we noticed the box scores the last few weeks, pre-Miami, wasn't a lot of names in receivers, just a couple buys, couple guys. Where this Saturday, you had Daquan Felton leading the way. You had Steven, you had Jay Lane, you had Aiden Green making catches, you had little Gosnell making catches. 5 guys, multiple catches. And I mean, that catching the catch and pass to Daquan Felton there in the early third quarter, that was pretty. Because it was one spot he could get that ball through, and he put it right on them.
That was a tight window. And a great catch by Felton on that one because, I mean, he had where he had to put it in there, it was like a little bit behind him. Yeah. Reached back, snatched it, off to the races, baby.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm sure y'all were hitting on it, but kind of what I was saying before the internet decided to act crazy was, like, I understand they probably had a lot of stuff they had to talk about before the season, getting people to come back. And I know everybody wants to shine, but at the same time, everybody wants to win. You got to do the things that help your team win, and Kyron sitting back there throwing the ball 40 times to 6 different receivers may not be the winning recipe, especially when you got a running back like Tootin. Like, I feel like they knew that Stanford had a good running defense, but they still said we have to go through Tootin. He didn't have the 100-yard game like he's been having, but every run that he touched the ball, he punished somebody on that defense.
Mm-hmm.
Even the announcers were saying they cannot get him to fall backwards. He was getting hit by 2 and 3 people. He kept falling forward. So, shout out to him for going out and performing like he has, being stable for us all season. But just those 73 yards he got were tough yards, man. But he did his job, and that just opens up so much for our offense. So when Tootin is going the way he's going, Kyron feeds off of it, then we open up the pass game. It's going to be hard for people to beat us if we play like that.
Yep. 100%. And to that point, I mean, when you look at what Tootin was able to do on the ground, and I think the big thing that we're seeing, we weren't necessarily great on a yards per carry standpoint, or at least as good as we've been the last few weeks, but they were effective. There wasn't a whole lot of tackles for loss. It kept us on schedule, and it enabled us to do the things we wanted to do in the passing game to complement that rushing attack. So I think that's the big thing to take away from that, is that, they do have a very good rush defense. We still put up a very good number against them in the rushing attack despite that, and we're able to really exploit them in the passing game.
Yeah, they are an elite rush defense. They are a top 15 rush defense in the country. They've given up under 90 yards a game. You don't rush for 90 yards a game, you ain't doing much at all. We got over 50 more than that Saturday. But we kept going to it. We didn't just quit. It wasn't like, well, we can't run the ball that good. We ain't getting 15 yards. We ain't averaging 8 a carry like we did last week. Let's just stop. It was like, no. Tally, to your point, the identity is still to run the ball and punish. And they keep – every time you get a little closer and you get 3 or 4 more, the safeties get a little bit more down. The linebackers try to take a step quicker to get there, right, because they're trying to get the tackle for loss. And that's what happened Saturday. They were out of spots a few times. The first touchdown, Stephen Godnell, a little inside slant, because they faked it, that linebacker just bit up on the outside because he saw the inside linebacker had basically took the gap away from Tootin. He was coming to take the gap away if Kyron pulled. And the second he pulled and he saw that linebacker step, Stephen was right there. Perfect slant touchdown.
Yep.
It's not a problem. And
What
again,
I love,
go ahead.
Yeah, what I loved about that drive was just it was a methodical drive. You love to see big plays, but it was just like they just said, we're going to be bigger and stronger than you this game. If y'all want to be physical, we're going to be physical. And we just worked our way down the field.
What did you say? What did you say last week we needed to do?
What did I say? Oh, punch. You had to punch, man. I forgot. I said a lot of stuff crazy.
You got to keep punching.
Yeah, you got to punch, man. I was like, you got to drink that Red Bull and get pissed. Like, that's what we did. And, even they had a long drive. They didn't finish with points. We had a long drive. We got in the end zone. And from then on, it was just like, okay, it's business as usual. Let's go make it happen. So,
yep.
Great to see.
They didn't get their job done. We came back, and that first drive was scripted really well. We saw a lot of different things. We saw some I talked about it while you were getting your internet straight there, Tally. Some different motions thrown in with some of those east-west plays that we've been running a lot of, that was getting the linebackers' eyes a lot more confused and giving us an opportunity to get some plus yards on those plays that we weren't seeing earlier in the year. We mixed in a little in and around on that one to Jay Lane. That got us a good 20-yard gain on that.
Should have been a touchdown.
Yeah,
should have been a touchdown.
Should have, but it was a. I like the calling. I like the mix. I like kind of the way they approach that drive and really kind of, I think, set the tone for the rest of the game from an offensive standpoint.
I'm telling y'all, man, I don't know why I keep seeing it and feeling it, but they got to continue to, they got to get Takai Heath involved in that offense. If I'm the defensive coordinator, of course, I know they see what we see. When he gets on the field, he just has something a little bit different. He hadn't been able to do much with the ball because we hadn't got him the ball much. But if you go back and look at that play, he was the one that was motioning. And when Kyron took off, that looked like they were going to run the option the other way.
Yep.
It was Takai Heath that had everybody's eyes going one way. And I'm like, I probably would have been following Jay Lane, which is who he tossed it to, and he went the other way. So, I mean, with just a couple of things that he's done, people's noticing when he comes in the game, which is a good thing. I just want the coaches to continue to get him involved in the game because I think that when he touches the ball, he's going to be electric.
Yep. And I mean, you know, when we look at that, I mean, there's a reason that somebody like, you know, XTB that had a good number of snaps last year, you know, most of those are going to Takai Heath this year. And there's a reason for that because he's got this like ability, I think, that's a little bit more dynamic. And, you know, you're seeing it on special teams and you're seeing it even most of these, you know, some of these decoy opportunities on offense, you know, you're seeing them respect the playmaking ability that he has. So it's going to be interesting to see if we can get him more involved in the offense. And obviously, you know, looking long-term, you know, being one of those, you know, big options at slot.
100%. Well, offense, we've been talking about the first 15 minutes here. I'll talk about the defense. Defense gave up 7 points. 7. They gave up 1 touchdown. They caused pressure all day long. Somebody asked how many sacks did we have Saturday? It seems like
5.
Is it 5?
Yeah.
Could have been 8.
Yeah.
Could have been 8. Could have been 8. You know, Sheldon's always helping me on stats and stuff. And the one they always talk about he loves is Havoc.
Yeah.
Havoc stat. Our Havoc stat was basically 20%. So basically, 1 out of every 5 plays they ran, we either got them for a loss, we got a sack, we tipped a pass, we got in their face, we caused pressure. 20. That's insane. I looked at the data. Literally, that's the 94th percentile. That means it might be 5 or 6 teams in the country at that rate that was doing it Saturday. And I mean, you sit here and you say we had that many sacks, could have had more. Let's be honest. APR didn't even get a sack Saturday, and we got that many.
We need Caleb Spencer to finish on his sacks. He keeps getting there. Man. Go a little bit lower. Drop, bending the hips just a little bit more. They ducking out of him. You know what I'm saying? But he's there. He's in the right position. That lets me know that it's the right play call. So shout out to Marv. I think he was the ACC coordinator of the week or co-ACC, whatever he was. You know, got to give him some props. Yeah, give him some props for doing what he's supposed to do. Great game plan. And for the people, because we know there's some people out there that say, well, it's Stanford. They suck. You know, you're going to have those people who always are going to say something. Well, guess what? We played some other teams that everybody say suck, and they still was causing problems. We wasn't putting a full game together. Against ODU, I don't feel like we put a full game together. Against Marshall, I don't feel like we put a full game together. Stanford, I feel like that was a complete game. You know, of course, it wasn't perfect. No games are going to be perfect, but it was close. You know, it was a lot more put together than any other game we've played all year. So, shout out to the team for being ready, for having to go that far. Back to what Curtis said, talking about the defense causing havoc. You know, another pick, Keontae Jenkins. We knew he threw it right to you, you know, but that's okay. You called it. We needed to. So, hey, man, I enjoyed what I watched.
Yeah, to piggyback on that, I mean, you know, we've looked at 2 weeks in a row where you feel pretty good about most phases of the team. And at least from a competitive standpoint, this is kind of the quality of play that we expected out of this team before the season. You know, we thought that this team could go toe-to-toe with the Miami that's ranked in the top 10. We thought this team should be able to handle a Stanford for 4 quarters and keep them at arm's length and then finish the job in the third and fourth quarter. And we did that. So we're starting to see this team play to the ability that we thought they had, and that's a very positive sign, right? So I like what I'm seeing. I want us to keep doing it. You know, when you get to, you know, you'll call it a blowout. The final score is definitely a blowout, and you know, it's a game that we handled start to finish.
Yeah.
And I think that was a good thing for us to do, especially how we saw most of September go for us.
Yeah, this is one of those weird games. The score definitely screams blowout, but it wasn't like the blowout. If we had done 21 in the first half, I'd call it a blowout. It was a controlled game. It was like I always like to use boxing terminology because it's one of those. We were the better fighter. We knocked them down early. They kept coming. We knocked them down again. We didn't really knock them out until like the 8th round. They got the shit beat out of them, but we didn't really knock them out to the 8th round. But I'm gonna say this, and it's great seeing this, and we've already said it. Young players are starting to make an impact. We've already mentioned Caleb Spender. He was a transfer, but he was a freshman last year down in Miami. He is young. We saw Mose Phillips last week, this week playing good. And there's one that literally, I kid you not, y'all, right before we got on, there's one player on the defensive line that started to pop. Y'all say, can we do it in tune?
1, 2, 3.
Asen Stevens. And Tally, you were mentioning just his look. So kind of go on to what you were talking about before we jumped on tonight.
Yeah. So of course, being, a Virginia Tech fan, you're used to seeing, I don't want to diss nobody, but you're used to seeing 5'11", 220-pound defensive ends and linemen, and that's okay. I ain't saying nothing's wrong with that. Those guys play hard, but he just had a different look to him. When you look across the line, a lot of our guys aren't the super tall defensive linemen like you see in some of the SEC schools. But we're getting longer. But Stevens has a look to him. When you look at him, I was like, dang, he looks thinner than everybody else. But the reason he looks thinner than everybody else is because he's 6'5", almost 6'6", and he may be 240, 245, and he's quick. He's moving. He's got good moving. This wasn't the first week that he got on the field. He was on the field against Miami, so the best in the ACC right now. He was on the field against them, and he didn't look like he was missing a step. Because for the most part, when you play a team like Miami, they're gonna have playmakers and they're gonna be fast. He didn't look out of place being out there. You know what I'm saying? He looks like he's a young player and he's getting some snaps in, but he didn't look like the moment was too big. And then when you go to the Stanford game, I'm really paying attention to his build and I'm looking at him. I'm like, oh, he's quicker than them. Oh, he's moving. Oh, he knows what he's doing. Oh, he's going to the right places. So to see that, and then along with, Q Reddish, a true freshman, that came in early, just got out of high school, and he's on the field. And probably, I think somebody put it in the chat, said he had the cleanest tackle of anybody. Perfect form tackle. Running back tries to jump through the hole. He comes in, puts the head on the side where the ball is, drives him into the ground. Perfect. Like, that's what we have on the bench. That's not just those players that we mentioned, but I feel like it's a lot more over there where that came from. So I ain't going to start talking about next year, but I'm excited for the future, man. And I think Stevens said it, I think Stevens was one of Pry's first commits or first recruits. But then he got hurt. I think he tore his ACL or something like that. So probably was a year behind where he wanted to be or where they wanted him to be, but he's a true sophomore, right, Curtis? Is he a true sophomore or is he a redshirt freshman? Probably a redshirt freshman.
I think he's a redshirt freshman. I'll check and look while Brian gets a little bit more on Stevens and what you thought of him.
Yeah, and I think he's a guy that came in, recruited as a linebacker, kind of made that transition to D-line there. I think he was kind of playing as a tweener when we were recruiting him, so we probably had an idea of, we're going to start you here, but you're probably going to end up over there with JC's group. And he's somebody that looking at his build, like Tally said, he's a guy that can go out there size-wise and hang with folks. 6'5", right around 250. That's a good size. He's probably still got some growth potential there. Put on maybe another 10 pounds. He can be one of those big ends with a little bit of twitch. I don't know if I'd take him in a 40-yard dash, but he don't need to run 40 yards playing defensive end. He can get her. He's got really good quickness, even if he doesn't necessarily have that top end 40 speed that you're looking for. So he's definitely going to be a guy to watch, and I like the future for him.
Yep, and this is the honest truth right here. He has jumped some of the upperclassmen. And the one thing I like about him at 6'5" is usually we see guys 6'5". If we ever get somebody that big, we always have to move them inside, right? Because they don't have the bend. There were a couple plays, and Tally, I feel like you mentioned this. You saw him, he got down a little bit, and it's like, oh, that's bend right there. Like, that's something that usually if you've got that bend, you're never going to play inside because there's only so many tackles that can deal with it. And again, if he gets to that 260, 265 range, and he puts it, like you said, he's muscle. He is not fat. He is muscle. His progression could be really good. Go ahead. What you got? One more, Tally?
Yeah, I was just going to say, Ace and Stevens, if you're listening to this show, I'm going to give you some game, my boy. If you want to be a Hokie legend, you ain't got to do much work. We want you to do some work, but you ain't got to do much work. Put a little cut on your nose and have some blood running out of your nose and put a Band-Aid on it. Hey, you good to go. Hokie Nation love them white boys with the bloody noses.
Hey, it's real easy, man. Just loosen that chin strap a little bit. Take a good one to the nose with the face mask coming down on you. It'll bleed a little bit. Throw the Band-Aid on there. You all set. I think Tally done froze on us again, unless he's just not moving.
We'll see. We'll see. I think he froze on us again. But while he is frozen, I'm gonna jump over. We've already talked about stuff because I don't think anybody was prepared for a non-grind game. We've talked about things we got to do better moving forward. The two things that I want to see better moving forward, but did go bad on Saturday. The first one was the defense on money downs when we were – you back, Tally?
I'm back.
All right, you froze for a moment there. The defense on
good.
money downs were 8 for 16. Now, I know it was a handful of them that were later in the game when they were going for it. But it's one of those things, I don't want that mentality, right? Y'all both played. I don't want that mentality of letting people getting third down and making it a first down, or getting a fourth and making it a first. So that was one of my couple quarrels here on it. The second one was procedural penalties. Now, I hate false starts. Offensively, I hate false starts. It drives me off. It literally drives me out of my mind. It's like literally there is a cadence. You know the cadence. You have practiced the cadence all week. Why are you moving? Don't be stupid. Defensively, I have never had a problem with it depending on the situation. It's 3rd and 12. You want to try to get off the snap? That's fine. Or 3rd and 7 shorter. Don't matter. You got those linemen thinking he is trying to time this up. And if he times this up, we still got to get 6 or 7 yards. We ain't going to get 6 or 7 yards. Therefore, they're apprehensive and they might jump back at you. I don't know y'all's feelings, but I need to see those two things on defense and one on offense cleaned up. The other piece of defense, do that at the right situation. Go ahead and knock somebody down to say, oh, I'm coming, and I'm going to get the snap count right the second time.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the money downs is frustrating. We talk about all the time, getting off the field is the most important thing for a defense. Get off the field, get the ball back to your offense, complementary football. And it wasn't I don't think there was a ton here where, it was a bad from a technique standpoint or anything like that. We had a couple where we were there. God just made a play, right? Quarterback scrambled real good on 1 3rd and long where we were right there for the sack. Next thing you know, that turns into a first down, moving the chains. It's frustrating, but it happens, right? So I think it's the ones that you can't avoid where you're already in place there and you miss a play. That's the ones that get frustrating for you. To Curtis's point, I mean, procedural penalties are going to be frustrating, especially on the offensive side of the ball, or in those situational things for defenses where you either put them in a situation where they can now, make a call whether they want to go for it or, continue with, potential punt situation. puts them in a situation where they have a little bit more options with their play call, or in a lot of cases, give them a first down. Like, you got to be aware on that from a defensive standpoint. Offensively, it's frustrating. You got to have mental toughness. You got to go out there and understand the situation, understand what you're dealing with, and stay focused on the task at hand, even when things get a little bit crazy outside of that. We weren't dealing with crowd noise, so that wasn't a factor. The only factor was that guy across from you, and you worried about him beating you. So keep on your mentals. Don't jump off sides.
Tally, you with us?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Anything additional bad? Anything you feel like we got to clean up? Because when you win 31-7, it's tough to find bad.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing, I guess, again, this is nitpicking, nothing super big, but on the fourth down, just get off the field. Like, do not let them convert a fourth down on us, because if they don't convert that fourth down, which I know they have players that are there to make plays as well, but on fourth downs, let's get them off the field. If they don't convert that fourth down, they probably don't score. We probably get a shutout. So just that, and kind of what you said, Curtis, too. If we're gonna jump off sides, and I think we did it a couple times. I think we got away with jumping off sides one time.
One time we did.
But, jumping off sides. If you're gonna jump off sides, just go. Go and push somebody down. Don't just let them say, "Oh my gosh, he jumped off sides. It's a free play." You know what I'm saying? Like, go hit somebody. Chase the quarterback, make him throw it out of bounds, make him slide down, do something. Get them uncomfortable if you're going to already be penalized. So I guess that's the only thing. Which we did that a couple times too. I think, whoever jumped off sides, maybe Peebles, he
got right in it. He got right in that quarterback's face one time.
he was in there. So yeah, do that. I'm okay with that.
Talk the shit. So again, as we wrap up Tell the Truth Tuesday, of a 31-7 win, Hokies go to 3-3 on the season. In a bye week this week, y'all. We ain't got no game to talk about. So, as we move into the second half, as everybody knows, we are brought to you by the Counts Family Pharmacy at 301 South Main Street in Blacksburg, your friendly neighborhood pharmacy.
New Icy Hot. Nighttime recovery relieves pain at nighttime while your body recovers. Icy Hot. You're so back.
Vitamin Water Zero Sugar has great taste, zero BS, and obviously zero sugar. For those with zero room in their calendar. Zero patience for slow walkers. Those who get 0 hours of sleep on a Saturday night. Have zero filter, zero given, and zero interest in grabbing a plain, boring water. Grab a delicious Vitamin Water Zero Sugar today.
And tonight we do have a very special guest. And is he there? I don't see his face, so I'm going to hold off a second. Someone who is frequently in our comment section during all of our live streams here. And he's also been a guest on the pod. He was back. He came to a doozy of a one. He decided to make his debut on the State of the Program last December. So I'm going to try to hold off on it because I want to see his face before we pull him in here.
Yeah, I just shot him a text message.
All right. We told him 40. I was at 42 when we started it.
Yeah.
So, Chris, if you don't mind, let you turn your camera on. Oh, he's trying to get the camera on. Live streams here, baby.
That's what
live stream.
It's flickering. We're gonna see what it do.
We know it works because he's been here on before.
Oh yeah. The beauty of live podcasting, ladies and gentlemen.
The beauty of live podcasting. Tally says it's cold in Alabama. He's already got a stocking cap on. Too cold for him down there.
He's got to prep. He's got to get his ears used to it.
Getting ready, man. Them fall nights, you better be ready to roll.
Oh yeah, we had
Hey,
baseball tonight, and it felt it. Today was that first crisp one in Virginia.
There was a nip. There was a nip in the air.
Yeah.
Had the windows down during the day. Had the windows open at night in the house. A little fresh, cool air in. Hey, it don't get much better than that.
Yeah, my son had a game last night, and it was cold. I ain't gonna say it was cold, but it was cool. Like
It was
people
cool.
had blankets out. You know, I had shorts on, and I was like, yeah, I probably should have wore sweatpants. So if I'm thinking that, like it was cool. So
Absolutely. Up. He hopped off. He will be back.
Hey,
But
we got a good comment here.
Oh, we go. Ooh.
that's gonna be cold.
Oh man. Why we can't be playing one of the further southern teams and not the northernmost team next week?
We got Steven out there in Cali.
Hold on.
Oh my God.
Jason on something here.
Oh my God. I don't even want to think about them. I tell you what, I'll feel a lot better them taking him than I did when they took Malik Willis, because I was not happy about that at all. I was like, man, no, this ain't gonna work. But then he comes back and beats us. You know, he goes to what was he with, the Steelers? Whoever he's with.
Nah, Green
Bay. Green Bay, excuse me. Went to Green Bay and comes in and beats us. I'm like,
hey, he was at Green Bay and beat the Colts too. So
yeah, I'm like, well, maybe it's us. Maybe it ain't them.
Exactly.
They've been getting on my nerves, man.
LeVar.
there he is.
There he is. Joining
I already
us
shouted out
tonight.
LeVar one time tonight.
I didn't see it. That might have been when my thing was.
No. I'm
up.
saying for earlier when I was talking about him hitting us up during when the Vandy game was in the first quarter.
Right.
Oh. Remember, I got mic issues occasionally, so we'll see that. We got some more people commenting.
Fuck.
That's
accurate. That's accurate.
Yeah. Chris said he's restarting his phone. Give him 2 minutes.
Yeah,
we'll
we're
give him
good.
a couple minutes here. We got a lot of folks in here, and what I love
Vamping.
seeing is.
Vamping. Let's do it.
Oh, by the way, let's hit this one up. Where is the heart asking where's Shelton tonight? Shelton had to do a little travel for a little job interview today, and he basically said, "I'm gonna get back late. I'm gonna be talking all day. I gotta lay out tonight," which stinks because he wanted to go off on special teams because apparently, per his notes, we are a top tier special teams unit. We just have a bunch of snafus. All
right, and here's what I would say to him if he were on here. What he's telling me is that we got a Parker Clements situation with our defense. Is that with our special teams? I mean, it's not always that it's bad, but when it's bad, and it stands out. And we got some big snafus here or there, but we also, this past week played a pretty clean game on special teams. Didn't have any multiple numbers out there. That helps when you change the number of your field goal kicker.
Can we just leave John Love at 25 the rest of the year?
Man, let John Love wear what he want to wear. Like, Love is that's my guy, man. What is he? Is he a junior?
Oh,
I think we got him for another year. Maybe 2. I don't know.
I think we got.
Oh wait, no. Sean Trent. This is perfect right here about Parker Clements in the special teams unit. That's a good one, Sean. Oh, gotta write that one down.
Hey,
oh man,
I like that.
I do like
that's
that.
Respect
a lot.
there.
Yeah, you see what Yo said though.
Hey, we got Yost in here.
Oh, well, that's true. Get it in there.
Hey, Yost, I mean, we had talked about that too, because I was like, we got to get the special teams unit straight. He's like, yeah, it's somebody different every week, though.
Yeah. Like, when I reprimand that person, he does fine, then it's somebody else. So
sometimes it's a player making a mistake. Sometimes you're out there, you got a coach making a questionable decision. Sometimes a coach makes a questionable decision because your head coach didn't take a timeout at one point. So it's like, sometimes it compounds on itself. So it's a lot of things that I think, the coaches seem to have cleaned up from a game flow perspective this week. That we saw some problems against Miami. We saw some additional problems earlier in the year with some of the bigger snafus, and I liked seeing a pretty clean game. And I know it doesn't stand out as much when it's not close, Those little small things get compounded when you're the 1-score game or when you're down 1 score and all that stuff. So I'm just glad that we're not having to talk a whole lot about it. But our band is ready. Chris Lester's here, so we're gonna bring him on here.
Pull on Chris, and real quick, Callie, Chris, the phone got to working.
Yeah, I turned around. I just did an update. I went to iOS 18, so I thought everything was fine. I had to cut the phone back off and do all that crazy stuff. Now, I've been sitting here listening to y'all the whole time. So
we saw you popping in early, man. By the way, for those who do not know, Chris Lester is the father of Brody Adams, true freshman down at Virginia Tech and friend of the pod, longtime friend of the pod. We told him a little bit earlier, Chris, first time you ever joined us, you came to State of the Program last December. That was your introduction here.
Yo,
that was a fun night.
Yeah, that was a good one. That still got that tequila bottle sitting on my bar stand messing with y'all that night. So my wife looked at me like I was crazy. I said, "It's hanging out with my buddies. We was talking football." Yeah,
hey, this is the thing about Chris too. Most of you people, viewers who don't know Chris and haven't interacted with Chris, he's not just a parent, because parents are so stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a parent and I'm dumb. You know what I'm saying? When I'm talking about my kid, or I'm looking at parents are stupid. Like, he's a student of the game. He studied the game. He's gone through the classes with his son while he's, getting ready to go to college, the weight, picking up the weight, going and watching film. He does a lot of that stuff. So it's not just him being a dad, it's him being a student of the game as well, because his son hadn't been on the field this year yet, but he studies every single game. He's studying, formations, different positions. So he is a really good person to talk to, especially with the wide receiver position. And guess what? His wife is better than him. Like, I'll be on the phone with him.
She's getting better. She's not better than me, but she's a lot better than when we first started doing this thing. But she's a lot better. And just for y'all, if y'all ever see my wife, do not ever call him Brody. If you ever call him Brody to her, she will choke you on spot, because that's her baby's name is Keelan. Now the Brody thing, you call him Keelan, and honestly, everybody else calls him Brody. She calls him Keelan, and the staff calls him Keelan, and Brody's his nickname. But even when he made the Hokie Stone of the Week thing, she's like, his name ain't Brody, his name is Keelan. It's always like that. So it is how it is, man. It is how it is. But man, yeah, I'm a fan of all of y'all, man. You guys in particular. I listen to Tales of the Terror Dome. I listen to BT4. I listen to all of y'all, and I did that, like y'all said, when I started. We were right in the process, because I wanted to see where everybody, how they were going to handle everything, and y'all were just consistent, and I love the way y'all talk ball. And then I was able to sneak in and hang out when nobody knew who I was, and because I'm still just a guy just like y'all. But it was cool. It was real cool.
Yeah, man, we loved having you on that first time. I mean, it was cool getting to see you in Nashville. And I said it last time. I don't think everybody knows, you a tall dude. You a big dude. I walked. I was like, oh, all right, Chris, what's up? How you doing?
Well, I mean, Keelan's nickname for me is Big Fella. It's always been Big Fella. And I wasn't gifted as most of my children. Like, Keelan's an amazing athlete. My 25-year-old daughter, Yana, she played volleyball. My youngest daughter played softball. I was a Rudy, to be honest with you. I was blessed with height and size, but I was more like a Rudiger. I had to go work for mine. So I had to go work really, really hard. And that's what made me a student of everything that I played. If it was softball, I learned it. Basketball, I learned it. Football, I had to learn it. But yeah, man, I'm a pretty big guy.
Yost is asking if he's.
I was going to say Yost. That might be a no.
It's close though. It's closer than the experts
I was
think.
not really paying attention to the height when I met Yost, as more I was of the hands. Like
bear ball.
Yeah,
man. Bear balls.
Yost looks like a WWE wrestler. His body don't look real. Like his head on his body don't look real. I'm like, and Yost ain't fat. Like some men like have dad bodies. Like Yost is just big and wide. Like he look like he can put on some pads right now and just go block.
Yeah.
So Yost is a big dude, man.
He's got that Big Show build.
Yeah, dude, Diesel.
That's
who Yost look like.
Well, Chris, we appreciate you joining us. It is the bye week. The first thing I think I got to ask, and I'll say this because if your wife's listening, I ain't taking a beat down from her.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to get to see Keelan this week? I don't know if they're allowed to come home or are y'all going down there where it's an off week and a little bit more relaxed for him? Or
for us, for us it's business because they're preparing. Everybody was like, oh, is he going to come home? We're big proponents of him not coming home, and I'm gonna tell you why we're that way. Coming home, there's so many other distractions, and when you transit, these guys, they have transcended where they're at. Y'all have heard me say this before. Everybody get to play high school ball. 7% get to go play Division I, and then you're trying to go be the one of ones. And in his situation, he's right in the middle of the season. We're pushing to we're marching to Charlotte. We're trying to get in the CFP. So, and for him, it's like learning how to be a great student athlete as well as be a Division I ball player. And we've been like, nah, we see him enough. When we go see him on the weekends, his mama brings him food. She cooks for him. He asks for stuff. She brings it. I mean, I'd be like, I'd just be happy to get some macaroni and cheese or some A-wings or something. So we're not gonna go see him, man. We'll see him next week. We'll go down early Wednesday, Thursday to see him and go to the most anticipated game I've wanted to go to since I started this whole entire thing.
Thursday night in
the
Lane
Thursday night
Stadium.
circled.
It is. It hits different, and the funny thing is, I missed my chance to go on a Thursday. Brian, did you make it to one Thursday? And
I made it to one Thursday.
And I know Tally's first game ever in Lane Stadium was a Thursday night against Miami. So
it was crazy.
It is a tradition like no other, man.
Yeah.
So let me ask this, and I know we got a bunch of questions, but Keelan enrolled early.
Yes.
And we talked about that, and there was a lot of you. I can remember in December, and yes, I know I was drunk and I was having a good time, but we talked about. But you were like, it is a lot of preparation to get ready to do this. It's a big step, because we always kind of say it. He should have been like having fun, getting ready for prom. And he's about to take this monumental step. How did that go? Like drop off and everything. We know how much you trust this staff, but when you were. I'll say this, and I don't know exactly where he's staying, but as you started pulling out of Blacksburg, going 460 back to the beach, it was just like, was it that moment in your head, man, he is becoming a man?
For us, it was, I had to build up to that. Like he picks at me. So he said, I know you're going to cry when you get in the car. I said, yeah, I'm going to cry when I get in the car. Cause you got to realize for me and Keelan, this process, my wife was in nursing school from his sophomore and junior year. So we did a lot of this together. Me and him, our relationship, our bond grew. And so we were like together all the time. So, I was like lost because I was like, all right, what am I going to do now? Because I ain't got nobody to drop off at practice. I ain't got nowhere to be. I'm like, I got to work. I got to come home, and I got used to being back at home. But the thing that I wanted most for him is you had to go to work and you had to grow up right here and learn everything. There's no longer I'm the big guy on campus. I'm the coolest dude in the room. You're going to go be one of one. So it was tough for him. And nobody will know, he lost his grandmother during spring ball. And that was huge for him. So imagine you go away from you get out of school you go to school, you go through Christmas, you get out of school on a Friday, right? You pack up your whole life, which it took us forever. As you see his room here, I made it to my makeshift studio. We packed him up, we took him, we dropped him off. You drop him off on a Friday and come Monday, Tuesday morning, you run around with dudes that's 20, 18, 19, 21 years old, and you got to compete. So that was huge for him. And so I had great trust in the process. I loved the staff, but I knew he was going to have to go through his bumps and his bruises with it. And he did. He did. He was like, I'll tell you, he said, I don't like this Hunger Games stuff. I play football. I said, football is about competing. And so the beautiful part about the process for us was every day he would go through, and then we would talk every day. We talked every day. Like, he would get done with practice, and I would talk to him before he ate. So I asked him how class was going. I asked him how he ate, and I watched him start to get it. And then he had to have a couple of wins. And so he had a couple of wins in certain times. And as he got more wins, he started understanding and becoming more confident. And so by the time he went from spring to summer, and he got into his groove, and then he just went and had a great fall camp. That's what he did.
That's awesome. I love hearing that. I love hearing, like, when you first get in there, I remember as a freshman, like,
yeah,
you're a guy, you're like, you're a team captain, you're doing all this in high school, and then you get even like, I played D3, but like getting there, I was like, all right, this is a different brand of football. All these guys did the stuff I did in high school. So
right.
That adjustment is definitely really important. And sometimes it takes a little longer than you want to, if you don't get the start you want to. But let me ask you this. You talked about talking to him every day. Was there somebody, whether, staff, whether player, whether anybody else at Virginia Tech that he leaned on there in Blacksburg during kind of that transition period?
Like, the thing about it is that the 10 guys that went in with him, so you got Josh Clark, Gerard Johnson, the Chance Wiggins, you had all those guys. They all went in together. And then, Tyler Mason, although they were together, so they bonded with each other. But Keelan is a really, really quiet dude. And, it was like the staff, like Kerry Lynn helped him. Dees helped him. And they all just, they walked him through it. He was and he's not a very vocal person. Like, he's not a rah-rah guy. So I'll tell you real quick. So one time Coach Mines called me, and he was like, yo, man, I don't know if he's getting it. I said, listen, he's not going to be a real responsive, okay, I got it. You'll tell him, he'll nod yes, and then he'll go do it. He said, and he's getting it. He's not going to be that kid. So that was one of the things. So they walked him through it. Cam Phillips helped him a lot. So spring, they're doing the spring, and he's going through practice, and he had one Friday, he called me. He was irritated. Like, I can't believe this. I said, what's wrong? He said, man, I had 12 missed assignments, man. I had 12. I said, well, what happened? He said, well, I couldn't remember the difference between slider and slide. And so I had to figure out, and so he had to learn a new signal. So in high school, it was just, hey, do this. He knew it. He'd go to it. Now he had to read the slide, certain things. So he had 12 missed assignments. So I said, well, and so me wanting to fix everything, I'm like, well, who do you think can help you? He was like, I don't know. I said, well, can't you talk to Mines? He said, Mines is doing this, that, and the other, because now Mines is an assistant head coach. So he turns around and says, hey, I say, Coach Phillips is there. Talk to Cam. So I reach out to Coach Mines. Mines gives me Cam's number. I say, hey, Cam, what's going on? And we start talking back and forth. I said, reach out to Coach Phillips. So he wrote calls to Cam. So he comes back like that Saturday. I got it, champ, because it's never like dad. It's like, there's always big fella, champ. He said, I got it, champ. I got all the signals down. I went from there. He went from that point, man, and I think he had 3 missed assignments from that point on. It's just like he wants to be – the thing about it, he understands assignment, man. He wants to be great. He wants to be really good, and he's willing to work hard at it. And when he can't get something, he gets frustrated. And so usually I'm there to try to help him. I said, but you got to go reach out and talk to other people to learn. And that Cam really helped him out a lot. So I attribute a lot of his success to that. And just the whole staff, man. Cheetah's on him. Coach Prelude's on him. They want him to be successful, man, and they're going to push him to be great. And that was the biggest thing for him. My favorite guy, one of my favorite coaches there, and he's really behind the scenes, and a lot of people don't talk to him, is Coach Brooks. Coach Brooks will Coach Brooks is the funniest guy, and he's gonna push you a certain kind of way. So it's the whole staff helps, man. There's not a kid on that team that doesn't have someone to look to help them progress and get where they're trying to get to.
Definitely. Well, the question I ask kind of, or not really a question, just telling you, kind of take us through you being a fan of the team and a parent of a player. How does your game day look like? Because I know you went to a couple of games. You've seen some losses. You've seen some wins. Kind of how does that go? Getting up, going, staying overnight. How busy are you? How much of your player do you get to see? How does that go?
Well, because, and I think I've learned this, and I think I'm gonna pass this on to anybody else that's coming along. I'm definitely telling to my young Green Run guys, their parents. I try to tell them, and it's hard because, you come off like you're a know-it-all, but I'm like, no, I'm just telling you what I've experienced. So my biggest thing, I was like, oh, well, we can just come up that day. It ain't no big deal. It ain't that hard. We can do it. Man, Jesus H. Christ. I will not ever, I'm telling you, come next year, I will be in town every week the night before because it is such a busy day because for us coming in, and we live 4.5 hours away, and my wife will not ever miss a Hokie walk. She will not miss seeing her baby, touching her baby, letting her hug her baby. That's that. At the end of the day, that's that. So our day usually starts. Nashville was cool, but then again, we got late Nashville because I didn't get to hang out with y'all all day like I wanted to. And my wife is hard on me because she acts like this is her speech before we leave. Don't get up here and act like you ain't got a whole relationship, a wife and a family. Don't get up here with your little Hokie buddies and act like you don't know who I am. And I'm like, I understand. So I'll get up there. Me and James Clark are real close. Josh Clark's dad, Gerard Johnson, we're cool. I know the fish. Man, I know everybody. Like Chantel Lovett knows everybody. I'm right beneath her because I try to meet everybody. I try to meet everybody.
That's fair.
I met the Peebles. I met, oh my God, Caleb Woodson's mom. I met everybody because I'm a fan of everybody. Shoot, I even met John Love's family. I was hyped to meet them.
Yeah, keep them happy.
Yeah, man, I love them.
He got a little brother we need too.
Okay, but yeah, I'm gonna start hitting them up. But so my day will start like for a game day. If we're coming up on Saturday, I'm out the door about 4:30. I'm on the road. Car's already gassed up. I'll come up. Then we'll get here like 9:30, 10 o'clock. So depending on what time it is, we'll go to our tailgating spot. We won't even go to our room because we're already coming in off the road, already, doing our thing. We'll probably at Starbucks, brush our teeth, do our thing, and we're at the game. Then we go and tailgate. Then we come down, we go do the Hokie walk. And then after you do your Hokie walk, man, you dang into the game. And above all with this team, I'm an avid football fan. So my wife always says, be quiet. But it's hard for me because I love the game so much and I'm watching certain things. And so when things don't go our way, I'm just as crazy as the next guy. I just try to keep it contained because I can't be too crazy because my kid's on the sideline. And I've had to fight with that since he's been playing ball.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm like, perfect example. When we played Rutgers, I was yelling at the refs and everything. My wife was like, you can't do that. I said, but you can see it. Yeah, but you can't do that. She said,
yes, you can. You're in the stands. You're a fan. You can do whatever you want.
No, I really can't because at the end of the day, the people is like, yo, whose parent is that? And then I got to deal with that. And my like, the rest of my Hokie parents said, had I been to Miami, I probably went to jail, which I probably would have. I probably would have went. But that's the day. And then once you finish with that, the game is over. So then you want to see him, and then when they played Marshall, we turned around, we let him go home, get dressed. We went to PK's, got something to eat, saw him. We just want to see our kid, because he's not, to everyone, he's a football player, he's an athlete, he's gifted, but he's still the kid that didn't clean up his room. And I had to tell him to take out the garbage. That's who he is still.
Come here for a second.
Yeah, and we go from there. So When we did that, then we'll come home, we'll hang out. And like when you're recruiting, the coaches are all there. So I know all the coaches, but then during the season, though, you'll see them, and then we'll go home, fall asleep, get up in the morning, go see him before you gotta go to work. Because I say you go to work. You know, hey, what time you gotta go to work? Oh, I gotta be at the facility at 11:30, 12 o'clock. All right, cool. We'll come by and see you. Come by and see him at the room. Make sure he has what he needs. Ask him if he didn't do anything. You know, I'll buy him food. You know, even though he got a couple of dollars, he can buy food. I said, I used to tell him, whenever you get some money, think about the big fella. And he laughs. And then, man, we hug our kid, and then we get back on the road, man. And we,
do it again next week.
We plan, do it next week. Yep. I think for him, the biggest thing for him this year, this is the most he's ever sat on the bench in his life. So this has been the most challenging thing for him. That's been hard for him.
So I'll go into something a little bit about that here next, just because you brought that up. Because we have so many, and we kind of talked about it. I think we may have talked about it in space. We may have talked about it on here as well. We have so many talented.
Me and you have talked about it time and time again, but go ahead.
Yeah. So we have so many, talented young players that are on the bench right now. You know what I'm saying? And it is so, to be a coach, it's so hard to balance, like, when do I put this young player in over my experienced player? Or we brought this player back, and all we talked about all off season was we got 20 returning starters out of 22. But then now I have a kid like Aiden Green that I can't keep off the field. Or I have a kid like Caleb Woodson that I can't keep off the field.
Cannot.
I don't even want to say, like, how does that feel? But you just seeing it from sitting in your position, being a fan, but also being a parent of a student athlete on the team, and you see somebody like AG get in the game, and you like, okay, they can't keep him off the field. Like, does it ever pop in your head, like, sooner or later that's gonna be my kid? You know what I'm saying? Sooner or later, that position, that play, if he was there, that's his play. You know what I'm saying? How do you feel like when you're watching the game and you see those little aha moments, I guess you would say?
I think for me, so me and you talked about this. So let me see if I can phrase it the best way. We're third year, and if anybody's listening to me, be in the comments or ever heard me, I understand this is a build. This is not a rebuild, it's a build. So you had to go get certain pieces and get certain guys, and they came in and they had the experience. And some of them have reached their ceiling. Some of them have room to grow. The thing about it was they had to be here so that you could bring in your 23, your 24, and your 25 class, right? Because they had to see they were growing and building something. Because you couldn't have, when they won 3 games, the kid was like, yo, they suck, man. I don't know if I want to go there, man. And I got Ohio State talking to me. I got Penn State. I don't know if I want to go there. So then it has to go to the point of doing the homework and seeing it. But then the next year when we're starting to get everybody's in there and everybody's making plays. And so for him to come and see, okay, I'll just go for his room. So for you to go into a room and have over 15 to 16 years of college experience there for you to glean from, it's amazing, because my kid can glean from a know-it-all, know every position, savvy route runner guy in a Stephen Gosnell. He can get the physical tenacity of a Daquan Felton. He can get the charismatic, shifty, podium guru, but also a very skilled close range hands receiver and an Ollie Jennings. He can be and get the love and understand how to be a professional like a Jay Lane in 1 year. Where on God's creation can you go and get that and glean that much experience in a year, and nothing is asked of you but to learn the playbook, go to class and make good grades, and come and practice your ass off. It's the greatest situation in the world for him. So it started to click for him in the spring, in the fall camp, where I was getting, I was getting calls from people. I was getting people saying, hey, he's starting to get it. he's progressing. He's doing this. He's doing that. And then, he would call me. He said, yeah, I haven't made a mistake in forever. I know everything. So now it's to the point where he learns. And if, we all listening, as a wide receiver, you're going to be an X. X is where Quan plays. You'll be a Z where Ali Jennings plays. You'll be an F where Jay Lane plays. So now he's like, hey, I'm proficient in the Z. I know everything from the Z. I know the F because I have to know as the Z what the F doesn't do. I'm starting to learn the X. And that's why if you look as a fan, if you go back and look at the snaps, who's the guy that never comes off the field? Y'all tell me. Stephen Gosnell never comes off the field. Stephen Gosnell, you'll see Stephen Gosnell go in there and pointing somebody telling them to go there because he knows everything. So if you want to go into the next level, and that's all these guys' desire, you have to know everything. And being in a room like that with those guys, but then also having a Cam Phillips, one of the all-time leading receivers in the history of Hokie football there, and then having Fontel Mons there to help him, and he's doing nothing but soaking it all in. Now, I know you want to play, but I think when he does play, you'll have that, and then you just have just a tenacious, just a guy that brews confidence in Aiden Green. It's just a great spot for him.
Yeah.
And with Aiden, it's one of those things. Is Aiden was probably in a similar to Keelan last year, learning, growing, and it's already like boom. It's almost like that. You look and say, if I do what he did, I'm going to be on the field doing that next year. I'm going to be catching the football, touchdown against Miami, and things like that.
Yep.
I want to ask this. I wanted to catch it before, but Tally got a deep question in there. Is PK's your spot down in Blacksburg, or do y'all have some other food spots?
Well, no. See, here's the problem. Because we come in on game day, my wife is like, let's explore. Let's just go and just explore Blacksburg and just go enjoy it. So that's what we. So PK's is one of the spots we go to. It's a breakfast spot. I think it's another egg. I think it's some egg bistro type thing we go to when we come there. But most of the time, man, honestly, you're so tired from that road, man. You just want to come in, get something to eat, go to sleep. Because, I haven't hit the lottery, and if I did, y'all be rich with me. So I got to come back and go get after it, the following week.
Yeah. So you got to hit what you can get.
I get what I
take care of your business.
Take care of my business. Get back to it. And get back to it, man. Get back to it. Yeah, that's it.
So we talked about, some of the, what Keelan's dealing with. I mean, but we also know that you've been, a feature player and, some of the spaces Tally has opened up there, talking about some of the early season struggles. When you were looking at those, what kind of thoughts were coming into your head and kind of, did you see the vision and do we start to see this team start to put it together as we kind of get into October now?
I mean, I heard y'all early. I heard y'all tonight, and what I had to liken it to so people could understand is when you guys first started doing podcasts, y'all were like, we have a vision of what we want to do. We want to be good at it, and you kept doing it, and you kept doing it, and then you start getting other people on and bringing things in. And even when y'all have difficulties, y'all are okay. He's out. He freezes. I can go get him. And so y'all had to learn how to be a great podcast, right?
Yep.
Here's the one thing about it. This is a football team that has to learn how to be a great football team. And Coach Pry alluded to that even with y'all in the beginning. If y'all listen, he said, we ain't did shit yet. You know what I'm saying? All this expectation is out here and he got all these guys back, but we ain't done anything yet. So I think they had to continue to learn how to win. And I think what all of them fought with coming in was, oh, yeah, everybody says we're this good, so we're just this good. So we just roll our helmet out, or we're Virginia Tech, and they know we good and we returning, and that they should bow down to us. And now they started, to learn how to do certain things and how to win. I truly believe what you guys said. Kyron had to get back to being what Kyron does well. I think he came on the y'all show. I remember him saying, "Yeah, we all came back because we want to go to the league." That was it. So he was already. I'm in April, even though it was January, February, right? And so with that, and then going and hanging out with with Cam and with Shador and practicing with those guys, we all got to the point like, yeah, he should come right back in and boom, be that guy. we all forgot he had only had 10 starts as a Division I college quarterback. So we looked at him to be where those guys are at, and they've got 24, 36 starts underneath their belt. And I think he tried to do certain things. But going back to your question, I didn't mean to go off track, but I just saw them learning how to win. And I told Tally this. I said, they got punched in the mouth. They tasted their own blood. They liked it, and they could be able to handle it. And that's what I saw against Rutgers. Even though everybody was pissed about Rutgers, I was like, yeah, this team they're coming together. Yeah. And so I wasn't shocked what they did in Miami. I would have went to jail because I was shocked how the ref was out there, trying to give it up. But I wasn't shocked with Miami. I knew they could do great things. I think some of the younger guys you can't take off the field. Some of the younger guys are just that talented on the defensive side. Some of the younger guys on offense who haven't had a chance to play. You got to realize who they are.
Yeah, I think too, and I think we've said it on here, and you clearly have watched a lot, Brian and Tally playing, is there's some guys who just do not practice well. They don't. Whatever reason, I know a lot of times you hear guys say it's up here, like I can't go full bore in practice. And I think sometimes I wish the coaching staff would just roll the dice on a couple guys because you feel like I see his physical presence. I think if you turned him out there and it wasn't orange and maroon on that other helmet, he would go shine. And I know they have to make decisions because they're getting paid a lot of money. And if a guy's not practicing well, it's really tough to stake your job to say, oh, I'm going to just play him. Because you got to trust him. Exactly.
You got to trust him. Right. You got to trust him. So, but I also think that that's not about trusting him, but some of guys are just, they're fit to do certain things. Okay. So I'll give you one of my personal favorites. Quentin Reddish is a favorite for me. One, because he's from Charlotte and because I'm from Charlotte and I knew the high school he played at and I always loved him. So Q Reddish was always one of my favorites. And when Q was going through camp and everything, he was like, because him and Q are roommates, he was like, man, I can't, they're just on me. And I would hit him and tell him, they're on you because you're the future. You fit. You have the frame and the body of a free safety. You have it. So you just got to go through your bumps and bruises. So some guys just, when they got on the field and we all saw it, you're like, oh my God, this guy's that. So when Caleb Woodson gets on the field, we're like, how the heck do you not play Caleb Woodson? Because you got a Sam Brumfield that you brought in through the portal who has more experience. And so you got to give this staff so much credit that they know what they have in the background, but they want to bring somebody in to keep them and mold them and shape them so they can be ready. Let's go back. Derek Canteen comes in last year, right? Derek Canteen comes in, and as a Hokie, we wouldn't say he did a lot of things, but what he did, he helped mature Dorian. He got Mansour to learn how to practice a certain kind of way. He could fill in certain spots. So now you see Mansour and Dorian, and those guys going to go play many of Sundays because they had a guy to bring them along. So we're looking at Caleb Woodson this year, and being around the Sam Brumfield, he's been able to influence him. He's able to influence a Gabe Williams. He's able to influence some of those guys. So I think it's what the staff is doing. Everybody said, the number one hit they made in the portal this year was Caleb Spencer. I don't think that. I think every guy that they brought in has been a home run because he's helped mature a younger guy behind them that may be better long term than the person they brought in. Y'all catch that?
Oh yeah.
So they're just, some of those guys are that, and this is as far as they're gonna go. But some of these other kids that they're bringing in are going to be better than them and have a chance to go do that, and that's what I see.
Yeah, you talk about Reddish, and I mean, you talked about how he was, hearing it from the coaches and stuff like that.
Man,
if you're a young guy, you want that attention from the coaches because if they're paying that much attention to you as a young guy, they really care about what you can do.
They do, but imagine, Brian, you've been great everywhere you've been. You've been amazing. You've been head and shoulders better than everybody. And every time you think you can't do nothing right. You see?
Yeah, I get it.
So yeah, we understand that. Yeah, as guys who wish, somebody, oh yeah, we take it now. But as a young kid, man, it's tough. But he he's weathered that, and he's playing really good ball right now. And I'm so proud of Q. I don't know what to do with myself.
It's just the thing that, of course, you don't want to just rack your brain about what could have been and this and that. But I just think about some of the people that I've seen play against Miami, some of the people I've seen play against Stanford. If they had played against Vanderbilt, I feel like it would have been a different game. I feel like we see a different game.
I think because you don't get a preseason in college football, because you only get to practice against yourself, you don't know that.
You don't know what you got.
That's why, these first 3 or 4 games, you're trying to figure out who does what. Like, we were all going crazy, like, yo, man, why do they keep switching the linebackers? Yo, why we don't keep this person here? And you had to figure it out. Yeah. And so, man, my hat's off to Coach Marv, man, because he had to figure out, okay, I can play him here, or I can play him here. Okay, against a traditional guy, I can play Sam. But against a more mobile, fluid guy, I got to play Caleb. Okay, Caleb, I got to bring in Keller, Hey, listen, how am I going to use Lawson? So, just on that side, even with the O-line, and, that's a conversation we had to have somewhere, over lemonade somewhere. But I understand the depth situation. But, you got a Latham, you don't know what he can do. You put him in because you're like, he's a talented guy. He's a top recruit. He's got to get in and play. But right now, and him being hurt, but it's good that you can fall back on a Bob Schick that understands, hey, I got to get better. But what Bob has to understand also, Brody Meadows can play. Brody Meadows is a dog. Johnny Garrett is an awesome kid. And as many times as people are like, yo, this guy needs to go, well, you don't have the depth to do it. That's why, for me, the guy who just had to do so much work and, man, turn, chicken, to chicken salad, it's Coach Crook, man. Coach Crook, to me, has one of the hardest jobs because he's to the point he hasn't even had a chance to really get his guys in. And all his guys are in the weight room right now. All his guys are with Deej. All his guys are getting technically sound. And he's trying to make this thing work, and he's making it work. So, I just see nothing but better things down the road. And with these 4 games or down the stretch, you're going to get to see some of those guys we've been wanting to see. The Davidsons, the Aiden Lynches, the Brody. You're going to get to see those guys. Grant gets healthy. You're going to be able to see those guys, and I think they're going to help us get where we're trying to get to.
But, Chris, I'm going to make your point about Crooks, and we've said it here, and you've heard us say it, and you've kind of agreed a few times. The 2 guys who have had the most time with Ron Crook is Xavier Chaplin and Braylon Moore. And say what you want to say, that's the 2 best guys on the line right now. X is playing unbelievable, and Braylon Moore, to go from left guard to now primarily playing center, has played awesome to be a second-year starter. He is a redshirt sophomore, and he asked to switch positions.
I mean, listen, this staff, no matter how much we try to bang on them for them being, inexperienced in certain areas, are really, really good coaches. And they've coached a lot of football, a lot of different places. So, with Coach Crook really being on the job 18 months now, right? 18 months. 18 months. It was like when he got the job, it's spring ball.
Yep.
So he's trying to hustle and go out and recruit and talk to kids to get his guys in, and then he's just trying to take the guys he's got to grow. So be more redshirt with a sophomore. He's gonna be awesome. I just think X is gonna be a Sunday guy. And his toughness, him being technical, he's just gonna continue to get better. So they got some other pieces. Like I said, I love Brady Meadows. I love Johnny Garrett. They got a lot of guys, man, back there that are going to be, very, very vital. They're going to be, they're going to get you to love. They'll never get you to forget Christian Darrisaw because you can't. You'll never forget, Teller. You'll love Brock Hopper because he's a tough guy. Yeah, there's
Dwayne Brown. Never forget.
Dwayne Brown. Now, see, some of those guys are just legendary, but those guys are going to be solid, and they're going to help us get back to where they're going to help us get to where we're trying to get to.
All right. So as we get near the end of the conversation here, first of all, Chris, do you want to hang with us and make some picks in a little few minutes here?
Oh yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can always.
Hell
I can
yeah.
always.
I was hoping you'd say yeah.
I can always get out here and start lying. You know, I ain't got no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna watch this, right?
You won't make the graphic, but we'll get you on record.
You will get to pick first.
No problem.
Straight up, Chris, though, we got 6 games left, bye week this week, Thursday night in Lane, Boston College. I got two questions in different ways to take it.
Okay.
The first one is, what game are you looking forward to the most between now and Thanksgiving weekend? And then what game is the one – I want to put this right. What's the sneaky one? What's the one as you watch football like, we got to be careful here?
Okay. The game that I am most looking forward to, because I'm selfish, is Syracuse.
Okay.
All right. Because that's dadgummit. Yeah, that'll be the chance of my kid. My kid gets to play, and you know, that's what I'm excited about. I'm so happy for him and so proud of him as a young man, and for him to have the opportunity that, you know, to go fulfill his dream of going to play Division I football, to actually go be in on a snap at the Division I level. Hey man, you know, like I said, I cry a lot, but I'm gonna be emotional that day. I was emotional at the spring game when the first time I saw him run out. I'm emotional every time he comes out of Inner Sandman through the tunnel, and I'll definitely be emotional that day. So Syracuse is the game that I'm looking forward to. So I'm looking forward to that. And then as for the team, I'm just looking at the next one, because everything is laid out perfect for us as a program. We have the third easiest schedule, I think, down the backstretch to get to Charlotte. I'm just telling you how confident. I already got my room for Charlotte. I booked my room for Charlotte in August, because that's how good I think this football team's going to be. And I think now, coming to the backstretch where you got Boston College about to walk into something they have no idea what they're going to walk into, because now they know who they are. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. I'm going to give y'all a reference. Tally will understand this. Brian, y'all might not get this. Brian and Curtis, you won't get this. So there's this movie called The Last Dragon, right? And so this guy named was Bruce Leroy, right? So he's fighting the villain is Sho'nuff, right? So Sho'nuff is whooping his ass, right? And he's dunking his head in the water. He's like, who's the master? And he keep pulling his head up. And so then once Bruce Leroy realized who the master's in, he raises up right out the water and says, I am. I am. And that's what this football team is. They done got their ass whooped. They felt like, and then they started remembering, I am that. I am that team. We are those dudes. We are that squad. So I don't think Boston College has any idea of it. And y'all listening in, y'all go back and look Bruce Leroy, the final fight. You understand what I'm saying?
So Chris, you saying they got the glow?
Oh, they got the glow, baby. They got the glow, man. They got the glow, man.
Y'all got to go watch that movie. That's one of my favorite movies, man.
Yeah, man. So
The Last Dragon.
The Last Dragon. They got the glow, man. I think they're going to come out Thursday night in that building, that electricity, and the way this fan base is. It's going to be a movie. It's going to be a movie. Like, I couldn't have imagined us being 6-0 coming in a Thursday night. I probably would have had to come to Blacksburg on a Tuesday, because we probably would have been able to get in. But them being 3-3 and being where they're at, I think the Boston College game is going to be huge. And that's how I feel.
Yeah, we've been looking at it too. I've been talking to some of the BC guys, and they went from beating their chest after that FSU game and feeling really good about this to not feeling so hot about it.
Yeah, they gonna walk. I mean, they gonna remember a lot of these guys. We beat them in their own building like they stole something. Tootin remembers that. Them jokers didn't even want to speak to him, because he was supposed to either go there or he came here. So I just think they're going to be a lot. They're going to be really tough out from here on in. Syracuse is going to be tough. I think, changing of the guard, like Coach said, we were Clemson before Clemson, and I think he has to get his signature win. For me, for this fan base to really buy into him, he has to get a signature win, and that could, like Miami would have been his signature win. Yep. And then it would have been like it. But he needs his signature win that launches him. You know, Coach Beamer had the 95 Miami game. That's the one that launched him. I think beating Clemson in Lane launches him to the next place, you know. And I think that I don't think we lose a game. Honestly, man, I don't think we lose another game this year until we go, you know, we go deal in the I just believe we get to I think we get to Charlotte and then we let the chips fall where we may. I want to make
see a little rematch there with
listen, I just want them to have to turn around and say, okay, we're only gonna put 2 ACC teams in, and it's gonna be the 2 playing the championship, and then watch everybody else go crazy. That's what I want to see. I love bedlam. I love chaos. I love mayhem, and I think that's what would happen if we go do what I expect us to do, go win the ACC.
All right.
Love to hear that.
Tally, Brian, y'all got anything else? Chris, you've been awesome, dude. It's.
Oh man, I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, man.
Tally,
if we can get Chris not to be a Cowboys fan, man, he might be.
Hey, listen, man, bro. Some relationships you can't walk away with, man. I put my rouge on. I put my lipstick on. I fix my wig, and I tell them she loved me, and I deal with it. I have been in that relationship since 1977, and I just can't let her go. I just can't, man.
Yeah, so no turning back now.
Nah, I'm done, bro. I'm done. I'm done. God willing, the only time I'm gonna love another team is if God blesses my kid and he goes plays at the next level. And then that will be my favorite team, along with the Hokies, because I'm gonna be a Hokie for life.
All righty here.
That's it. Yep.
Well, Chris, thanks for just giving us all the insight, sharing your stories, your time, your emotions, and I am hoping. I am trying to get to Georgia Tech. I'm trying.
Okay, I mean,
I'll get your number from Tally.
Yeah, man. If I am, you get here if you're in Blacksburg, I'll be in Blacksburg. It was tough because I was planning to go to Miami, but I ended up getting a new position, so I ended up having to back out and not go to Miami. And then I was never going to Stanford. I wasn't doing that because it's back to back like that. Because because I figured I'm just thinking down the road. I know we're gonna have to travel a lot next year, so I said, okay, let's figure this out. But you
got 3 years of traveling. You got 3 years of traveling.
I got 3 more years of traveling.
3 more years of traveling.
I got 3 more years of traveling. Yeah. God willing, 3 more years.
All righty. So Chris is going to hang out with us because, as y'all know, every week. Well, actually, Chris, we've seen you put your predictions on here before. So you're going to keep rolling with us. We do big screeners. We pick some of the biggest or, to us, the most intriguing, or sometimes just the ones that we think, you know what, that's a good gambling line. We're going to take this and we're going to make a bet on it. Every week we do it. And as usual, we do have a certain order here. So Brian is leading us off with his game, and then we'll let Chris pick, and then we'll throw all our picks up here. First game.
Man, we had back-to-back screw jobs, so I had to pick the latest screw job on the Miami end here. Get Cal against Pitt. Pitt looking a little good. They got a little juice here compared to what we thought they would have. So. Looking at this line, it's Pitt's a 3-point favorite there at home. I'm going to take Cal here. I think Cal's going to win that one outright. I like what I saw, what they put together against Miami before they kind of collapsed late. They played pretty well so far throughout the season. Odd is him. So let's see what they can do out there against Pitt.
All right, I'm gonna let our guest go next here. Chris, Pitt's laying 3 points. You going with the Panthers, or are you taking the second team that got screwed by the ACC this year?
I'm taking the more physical team. I like Cal. I do like Cal's game. Pitt has been sneaky though, and they've got some really, really good players. I like their wide receiver core. Even though I don't like Narduzzi so much as a person. As many people feel that way. Being a Youngstown guy and everything, because that's where my wife and Keelan are from. But I like Cal. I like Cal's physicality. I think that loss. I don't know how they're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna have the fortitude to say we were up by 25. we got screwed, or we gonna keep looking back at that. So, but I'm gonna take Cal to come across country and knock Pitt off because I need Pitt to get knocked off. So yeah, I'll take Cal.
All right, and I'm with you on this, and with you and Brown. Give me Cal. I think they have a bounce back game. Ott's good. Mendoza's good. Not until the fourth quarter, when a lot of screwy shit started happening, did they not have Miami. So yeah, 3 points. Give me the points when I like the team outright. Sheldon, who's not in here tonight, he is getting back from his travel. Also going Cal.
Cal wagon.
Tally.
I'm going Cal as well, and it's just because I need Pitt not to be undefeated. Pitt is too close to our footprint. I need them to lose some games. I don't need them coming in here sliding and trying to get no kids or talking about how good they're doing. So somebody need to beat the shit out of them. I'm hoping this Cal.
There we go.
Gotcha.
All right. All
Miranda's
right,
riding with
Miranda.
Cal as well, and the Music Man is the only one on the Pitt wagon.
Of course he picked Pitt.
Of course.
Jason
right.
getting called out here.
He's getting called out. He's in bed now, I think. He old. All right. The game I am selecting this week is one of the all-time favorite rivalry games, Oklahoma, Texas. The Red River Shootout. It ain't no rivalry. It is the Red River Shootout at the State Fair in Dallas, Texas. A place one day I hope to go at the Cotton Bowl because it is such a cool setting. Texas is laying 14.5 points. I'm going to let our guests go first. That is a lot of points to lay. You've seen this game a lot. I know you're probably like all of us. It's certain games, unless the Hokies are playing, it's like, I'm going to watch this one.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I'm a big first off, I'm just a big football head, but 14.5 points. Listen, I don't care what it is. You're not gonna give. Oh, that is way too many points, man. I know this sounds crazy. I'm gonna take Oklahoma. That's just too many points to give them. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I think Oklahoma's gonna stand up and that 14 points is too many. Now I think Texas will win the game. But, guys, if I'm betting, I'm taking OU. I'm taking them to those 14 points. So, I'm going to take Oklahoma in this one.
Yeah, I'm riding with Chris there. If it was maybe 10 and a hook, I might would pull the trigger on Texas.
Right.
14 and a hook is way too damn many points. So, give me Oklahoma here.
Yeah, I'm with y'all on this as well. 14.5 is way too much delay. I've already seen Oklahoma's defense slow down Tennessee one time.
Right.
I do not think Texas's defense is near as good as Tennessee's. I don't think they can. I think it's going to be one of those memorable ones. I think it's going to be like a touchdown game. And I'm not sure. I have not read it. First of all, I'm going to do this real quick. He's still here. He ain't asleep yet.
It's a school night, Jason. Go to bed.
He can't. He's enjoying watching and listening to us too much. But it's just too many points.
Too many.
Sheldon, too many.
Sheldon is taking.
He's saying it ain't. All right. Sheldon,
what you got?
That's.
Yeah, I'm on. Man, it was a hard game to pick for me because I actually did watch the Oklahoma-Auburn game, and Auburn's not. Their quarterback situation is not very good. It's the reason they lost to Oklahoma. So I could see it being 14 points, but the hook is what got me. You know, I think that Texas is the better team, but that 14.5 always scares me. So I took Oklahoma in that.
Miranda's riding with Texas. So Sheldon Miranda. Hey, Jason rode with us this time, though. He took OU.
All righty. Sheldon's game this week is he has got the Penn State. It's some good games this week. I mean, it's wow. This is like the next 2 weekends. I am really glad we got the bye this week, and I'm really glad we're playing Thursday night as a college football fan. He has got Penn State, USC. This is out at the Coliseum. USC a 5.5 point home dog. Chris, who are you rolling with here?
I'm going to take Penn State in this one, man. Drew Aller, man, is really starting to progress to become who he needs to be. The two running backs there, and y'all know because, well, just, you got number 10. You got, what's it, Nicholas? What's it? I forget. I just know my guy's 13. Tatron, we call him Fat Man here in the 757. He's a 757 kid. He trains with Keelan. So I'm going to run with Penn State. I think Al's going to be fine. They're trying to make the tight end there like, the greatest thing since sliced bread because he can do so many different things. And I think Penn State goes out there and get their signature win. Coach Franklin needs this one. He needs to go out there, keep this ball rolling because he's trying to be in the group of 12. So I got Penn State.
Penn State.
Yep, I like Penn State here as well. USC has looked good at times, but they haven't like super impressed me. I think Penn State is putting together a pretty good season. They've got guys kind of at a lot of different places, can give a lot of different teams problems. So I think it's going to be Penn State here.
All right, I'm going the opposite of y'all. Penn State don't know how to play outside of Southern California or outside of Las Vegas where it's nice and warm. If this was in Happy Valley, I'd be willing to lay 10. But with 5.5, too much to lay. I do think Penn State's going to win this game, but I think it's going to be an unbelievable offensive showcase.
Wow. Okay.
5.5, just too much to lay. I'd be okay with 3 or 3.5. I think it's like a touchdown. It's like a 3-4 point win. It's just going to be close.
Okay.
Sheldon's riding with you, Curtis.
I am not riding with Curtis and Sheldon. I think Penn State in this game. I've picked Southern Cal a couple of times, and I've watched them just a little bit. Like I said, one of my friends from here, son, plays on Southern Cal's defense.
That's
so I watched them a couple of times, and I just think Penn State's the better team. And I think they'll win by, 7 to 12 points in this game.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right.
Miranda's riding with Curtis and Sheldon, and Jason's riding with the rest of us here.
Okay.
Now, before we jump to Tally's game here, I do want to just bring up last week, Brian 4-2, Sheldon 4-2, Tally breaking 500 at 3-3, Miranda and Jason at 2-4, and I was 5-1. Let y'all say that. I was at 5-1.
Say it with your chest, Curtis.
Say it with your chest. For last.
I'm saying here's for last. Like I'm the big boss with the bottom of the house.
Right now, if you have been riding with myself, Jason, Tally, or Brian, we would have made you some money so far this year.
Okay.
So we ain't all wrong. Battling all of us slightly over 50%.
That's what's up.
Tally, you got a big one, man. You got a big
man.
one.
This is gonna be. I think this is gonna be a good game. You got Ohio State versus Oregon. I don't know, man. Ohio State's wide receiving core is just off the chains every year. Yep. They'll send some people to the NFL and then they'll pull some people from another NFL. I don't know where they get these kids from, but Oregon's always a solid team. They're gonna come out with some crazy jerseys on. I think this is going to be a very entertaining game, but I'm going to take Ohio State in this game because, I don't know, I just feel like Ohio State, their receiving core, I'm just impressed with them.
Chris, what about you, man? Big one, 7:30 on Saturday night.
Oh, that's good. I'll be in for that one. Listen, I'm going to go with Ohio State on this. Like Tally said about the wide receiving core. Yeah, you turned around, you got a guy. I think I did send it to Tally. So we were talking about Jeremiah Smith. So Jeremiah Smith is the number one player in the 2024 class, not number one wide receiver, the absolute number one player. And so I had to watch all that transpire. The kid he's amazing. He's really, really good. Like he's tough, but you got Emeka Buike, and Emeka Buike was the number one wide receiver in the 2021 class. He was the number one guy. There was another guy that was in his class too, Marvin Harrison Jr., who plays in the NFL. So they go get him, man. They're gonna go get the number one kid. Coach Hartline is amazing up there, and they got the guys to do. They got Trevin Henderson, another 757 kid. And then you turn around, you got Junkins, who was down at Ole Miss. Man, that's going to be great. And I think that's just going to be the pressure that's on Coach Day this year. That's got to be his. That's going to be his. I'm that school. Like I think they'll beating Michigan that he has to do for the program. He's going to have to go out there and beat Oregon to say I'm the best team in the country. because he's probably going to have to face that other team down in Austin to win the whole thing. And if he don't win it this year, he in trouble. So I got Ohio State.
Yeah, I like all of that, but it's something about going to the Austin Zoo, man.
The Zoo.
It hits different. I think the fans are going to impact that game. I think Oregon's a damn solid team. They've got some dudes out there that can make some plays. I think they do just enough. You know, I could see Oregon maybe winning this outright, but I think it comes down to a field goal late. So give me Oregon.
That's gonna be dope.
Ooh. I love the Austin Zoo. The Austin Zoo is one of those places. It's you know, it's a lot like Lane Stadium. It ain't the biggest, but she roars when she roars. But I can't do it. I cannot pick Oregon the way Ohio State's played this year. They what they did to Iowa. Iowa is one of the best defensive coach teams. Y'all know this. And Iowa had it tricked out in the first half. And when they come out and lay 28 on them in the second half, you know it's scary. You know it's scary.
Mm-hmm.
That's the scary piece. So give me Ohio State. I'll lay the points. Sheldon's got
Ohio State.
Okay.
Allie, Ohio State. Miranda and Jason. Brian, you all alone, man.
I'm all alone, man. It's
lone
gonna be
wolf.
real good or real bad for me.
Be the lone wolf, B. Go ahead, be the lone wolf, baby.
Oh, man. All righty. Our wonderful contributing writer is going with one of those classic SEC rivalries. Always a good time. On Rocky Top, Florida, Tennessee, laying 15.5 points.
Ooh.
Chris, can you lay 15.5, or are you going with old Rocky Top?
And it's in Tennessee?
It is at Tennessee.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah, my man's in trouble, man. God, he go. Ooh, God, what time's the game?
Hold on, let me get you up here. It is a 7:00 night kick.
They probably gonna come up with those black and orange uniforms on 2. Ooh, gosh. God, 15 is a lot, but Florida hasn't looked really good at all this year. Yeah. What 15? God, that's a lot of points. Yeah, man, I'm Jesus, that's a lot. Of points, man.
Chris, you want us to run through? Because
let me say
all of a sudden.
Yeah. Go ahead, Callie. Somebody
Chris, let me think about it. Brian, we'll go through everybody and then we'll come back to you. Brian.
Tennessee's pissed and they're playing at home. It's a night game. That's all I need to know.
Okay.
Bingo. Tennessee is pissed. They got embarrassed down in Fayetteville against the Razorbacks. This is one of those. I think it's going to be about 24-28. I think they're going to spank them, and I think Billy Napier might not have a job come Monday. Because you're right, Chris. He is in trouble.
Shelton is riding with Tennessee as well. Tally, what you got?
Man, I'm gonna go with Florida in this game. Not because I think Florida's going to win. I just think that that's a lot of points to lay. And Tennessee is upset about last week. I think that may be, first of all, they've had a lot of games in a row, but they've had to play. Like they had Oklahoma, then we got Arkansas, and these games are physical. They're hitting. And right now, Florida's kind of a doormat. That's kind of what the SEC is looking at. Is looking at them like. But guess what? After they play Arkansas and they lost, they got Florida. Guess who they got next week?
Is it Alabama?
They got Alabama.
Third Saturday.
You know anything about those rivalries? Tennessee and Alabama hate each other. When Alabama got put on probation, that was Tennessee. They got Alabama put on probation. So you talk about Alabama and Auburn. Alabama and Tennessee is at that level. I just think Florida's going to sneak into. I'm not saying they're going to win, but I think they're going to make it more of a game because of all the stuff that Tennessee has going on. But that's my opinion.
All right.
Seeing a backdoor cover there, Tally?
Backdoor cover.
Backdoor cover.
Take it.
Miranda's rolling with Tennessee, and so is Jason.
So, Chris?
That's all. I needed that backstory. There you go. Then I'm going with Florida. That's it, because they're mad. Think about it. They pissed off they lost to Arkansas, but they looking past Florida. And Billy's playing for his job. So they're going to lose, but they're not going to lose that bad. So that's just too many. 15.5 points is a lot of points. Remember, they said we were going to go down and lose by 17 to Miami. I knew that pissed them off.
Oh, yeah.
So I get it. I'm going with Florida. I'm gonna ride with Tally. He won't be the lone wolf on that one.
Not the lone wolf on.
Not the lone wolf. He won't be the lone rider.
All righty here.
He won't be the midnight rider on that one.
The midnight rider. All right, so our music man, Jason, he is going down to the Bayou and looking at the Ole Miss LSU game.
Thibodeau, Fontenot, in the place of buzz. Info come sleeve on by the dozen. We dress in style, oh, home, wow, the old mile. The son of a gun, we'll have big fun now on the bow. Hey, welcome back to Guitar Licks and Gambling Picks. I'm Jason Long. Now, you Hank fans have probably already figured it out. I'm looking at the LSU game this week. Ole Miss is traveling to Death Valley. I think LSU is going to win outright, and Vegas is giving them 2.5 points. I'm going to take the Tigers all day on that one. Now, the best part about this matchup is the game starts at 6 o'clock Eastern, and that's dinner time in my house, so I think I'm going to have jambalaya, across the sky, feel it gonna roll. Cause tonight I'm going to see my share of meal. A big guitar, fill through jar and begin. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun on the bow. Son of a gun, we'll have big fun down on the bow. See you next week.
All righty, so we got Ole Miss LSU. LSU, a home dog in Death Valley on a Saturday night. Chris Lester, if you need to think about it, let me know. We can let you go.
I got it.
In.
No, I'm easy. I'm easy with this one. I like Lane Kiffin. I think this is going to be a time for the emotional coach to sit there and say these are games that we should win, and maybe he'll knock the water over this time. I like Ole Miss in this one. I like Lane, Jackson Dart. I like that football team. I like that football team a lot. I like Juice Wells to go ahead and have a breakout game, and I like Ole Miss in this one.
All right.
Yeah, I like Ole Miss as well. I think Dart's gonna handle some business in this one. That's a tough place to go into, but I think they've got the juice on the offensive side of the ball to go in there, handle that pressure, take care of business, come out there with the dub.
As much as I dislike Brian Kelly, it is going to be a hell of a thing for Ole Miss to go in and do what they did. We've seen Ole Miss against stingy defenses, right? We've seen Ole Miss against some stingy defenses. Kentucky slowed them down at home. I'm with Jason on this. I think LSU pulls it out. I think that crowd's going to have a significant effect on what Lane wants to do. And I felt like they should have smoked South Carolina by more last week. Felt like 27-9. The way South Carolina looks, I just can't do it. So I'll take LSU at home.
Shelton's riding with you there, Curtis. Tally?
Yeah, I can't pick LSU until they bring back Nick down there. It's like the Hokies need to bring back Stick It In. So I do think LSU. I do think Ole Miss is the better team here. I think Lane kind of thrives in certain positions. So I think that Ole Miss, I like them better in this game.
There you go. Miranda's riding with us there, Tally. And Jason, we know, taking the Tigers.
Taking the Tigers.
Okay. All right.
There's the rundown.
There you go. By the way, we got to think about the last 3 weeks of our music man's genre range. If y'all have not been paying attention, several weeks ago, he did California Love. Last week, Chris, you put it up there.
Yeah, he did Purple Rain. He did Purple Rain, man. That was dope. I like that. That was nice.
And this week, going back to the 1950s, he's bringing up some Hank Williams Sr. and some of the classic country music. Again, y'all check Jason out. He's always out here. We've known Jason pretty much. I've known him pretty much my whole life, so always check him out. Chris, my man, we appreciate you joining us tonight. I can't say much more than that, man.
Hey, man,
Absolute pleasure.
Thank y'all for having me, man. I really appreciate it, man. I'm always rocking with y'all. And I just appreciate everything y'all do for Hokie Nation, man. Y'all take the emotion out of it and let us to be logical. So when we come and talk to y'all on a Tuesday night, we've had all the emotion, we did all the roller coasters, and y'all come with great content. Shelton is my stat child. I love him. I just want to hear him talk stats. I'm gonna adopt him one day and just have him run all stats for me and make me sound smarter and help me when I'm fussing with people. But man, y'all do a great job, man. Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me in and let me hang out with y'all tonight.
Yeah, definitely, man. We always love when Chris comes through, as well as everybody else in the chat, man. I mean, every week it seems like we're getting more and more, people talking in the chat. Man, please continue to do that. The love, we appreciate the love, but we also couldn't do what we do without, you guys throwing stuff in there for us, letting us know what you're thinking, showing us some new things that we probably didn't see. That's why this community is so great. That's why we're a family. Again, so much knowledge, so much, talent in the fan base, and we love to see it. Yeah, Chris has got a hat on that I'm kind of jealous of. I'm trying not to look over there.
Hey, man, listen, bro. I told you, this is why I started following y'all, Brian. This is why I followed y'all. Tally's hat game was so crazy. I was like, yo, I gotta meet him. His hat game is crazy. So, because before I came here, I wouldn't even wear orange, just so y'all know, I wouldn't even wear orange. I wouldn't even wear it. Right. So I was like, yeah, man, back in the day, I wasn't always a model citizen. So my kids laughed at me. So I said, I don't wear orange. And that was a big thing with Tech. But he had a hat on. So I got this one from the SWVA shop, man. Love those dudes, man. Yeah. Shout out to them, man.
Is that the one with the rubber? That's the one with the rubber Hokie on?
Yeah,
I started to get that. I talked to
man, I got it last year going to the NC State game. So I just try to pick up a different one here and there. I'm trying to work to get to Tally's level. I probably will never pass him, but I'm working to get to that level.
You already there. Don't even worry about it.
I just try to give much love to all the different creators out there. But the SWVA guys, they always they look out for you. Like if I see someone like, yo, I need that, and they'll be like, hey, yeah, meet me, and they'll just meet me with it. And I'm like, that's all. That's why I like these guys, man. They'll meet me anywhere. I got a little money for them. They'll bring me a hat, and that's what's up.
There we go.
Love it. All righty, well, y'all, that is going to wrap up this episode of the Boundary Corner podcast, brought to you by the Counts Family Pharmacy in Blacksburg, with our guest Chris Lester. I'm Curtis Wilson.
Brian Siegler.
Jonathan Talley.
We are part of the College Huddle Network. Check out our website, boundarycornerbt.com, to listen to all of our episodes. Check out Miranda's articles on the game and her insight each week on there. While you're there, do not forget to put it back up there, Brian. Put Randy's back up there. I want to see it one more time.
Hang on. Let me find it.
It ain't that far. Do not forget while you're there. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube. Hit the like button. We are on all your favorite podcast sources, Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcasts, and everything in between. As always, he plays us a little guitar tune every week, and he plays us in and out as well. Check out his website, jasonlongmusic.com, to see where he will be playing live down in the New River Valley. Also, get the links to all of his music on Apple, Spotify, his YouTube, and his Facebook pages. We thank you all for listening out there. And as always, let's go.
Hokie.